Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today on this day we are here to commemorate an event that happened over 12 years ago. The 2008 Super Tuesday tornado outbreak. If any of you have lived in a select number of Midwest or Southeastern states, you may remember this event. On this day, for over 15 hours, 87 tornadoes raged across America, causing $1 million of damages, thousands of homes were destroyed, and 57 total fatalities. The highest ranking of tornadoes in this outbreak was 5 in the category EF4. Now what this means is that these tornadoes were throwing cars, leveling buildings, and throwing items so fast that they have to be classified as missiles. This event was no joke. People were hurt and even killed, and lives were completely uprooted. However, amidst the chaos, after the events of the Super Tuesday tornado outbreak, communities were coming together. Amongst the chaos and destruction, people were helping each other. Today is not only a day to commemorate the lives that were lost during this horrendous event, but to also commemorate the empathy and how much community that was shown during these events when people were banding together, a capability of humans that is beyond comprehension. One of the areas most devastated by the outbreak was Atkins, Arkansas. This outbreak was the deadliest they've had in years and overall accounted for 14 of the fatalities during this event. The community was entirely in grief, but they still mobilized to help each other. As Mayor Rowdy Sweet said in an interview with ABC 7 News, "I could sit here for hours and name the names of people. The whole community came together. People helped rebuild and clean up. The cleanup took a while. All the local churches became a place for food and clothing. People donated all kinds of items. Without the help of the Atkins community, the city would have been in a state of distress almost unimaginable. However, thanks to the brave folks who decided to step up and begin to get their community back together through this truly devastating time, Atkins survived. Considering the odds, one could even say that they thrived. Again, today is a day to commemorate those 14 lost souls of Atkins. But it's also a day to commemorate those who grabbed themselves by their bootstraps and really worked to help each other during this time. Now, human beings are intrinsically selfish creatures. After all, who should we take care of but ourselves first? Yet the empathy and sense of community that Atkins established during this event is not to be overlooked. It's something to be taught and something to be learned upon. Of course, Atkins wasn't the only state that was hit by the outbreak. Tennessee was a huge hotspot for these tornadoes. 3 of its major counties were exposed to these tornadoes. The destruction that Tennessee faced was almost insurmountable. Thousands of homes were destroyed, blocks were leveled, cars were thrown, and let's not even mention the millions upon millions of people who were displaced from their homes. However, much like Atkins, help was almost immediately mobilized. As reported in an article by the Tennessean, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the United Way, and other charitable groups also quickly mobilized volunteers to assist survivors in the aftermath across some regions affected. The 3 hardest hit Middle Tennessee counties alone, the Red Cross sent over 100 volunteers to deliver meals and supplies. Communities rallying together to help these devastated counties was a huge benefactor in rebuilding this entirety of Tennessee that was destroyed. As declared by the Tennessee ice hockey team, this wasn't the only people who were helping. Non-for-profit wasn't the only organization and types that were going to help Tennessee and other counties affected. The Nashville Predators announced today, the Tennessee ice hockey team, that half of all revenue from remaining ticket sales to Thursday's contest against the Tampa Bay Lightning will be donated to the American Red Cross tornado relief efforts throughout the Southeast. This is just another reason to commemorate tornado relief efforts and everyone who sought to do so. Tennessee, one of the hotspots for the outbreak and home of the Predators, sought not only to help their own fellow Tennesseans, but to help out all regions across those affected in those Southeast and Midwest states. This generosity, this selflessness on part of the people of Tennessee is amazing. Much like Atkins, the people of Tennessee showed so much empathy and so great that it cannot be overlooked during this time of turmoil. The strength of its community and its members, their dedication, their compassion, this is something we can all learn to take away from these disastrous events. There's always a rainbow after the storm, and in Tennessee's case, the rainbow is their community. And overall, Super Tuesday tornado outbreak on February 5th, 2008 was a disastrous occasion. However, it could have been so much worse, were it not for the brave members of the communities affected. Without the volunteers, without the good Samaritans, and without the normal citizens and communities, just keeping themselves and others safe. Who knows how long it would have taken for these states to recover. This is something we as people can learn from. These communities' sense of togetherness, their empathy for each other, it is not to be overlooked amongst the destruction. We must learn to be like these communities, to demonstrate always reaching out a hand, or to lend some help. So again I say, today is not a day only to commemorate the lives lost during this outbreak, but to also commemorate those who stood with each other, who helped their communities, and whose sense of empathy could not be stopped by just mere weather. Thank you very much.